Welcome to the Explainer. So, you're an AI developer, right? You know how ridiculously easy it is to whip up a cool demo with a simple API call. But here's the hard truth. That magic you just built, it could be totally obsolete tomorrow. Today, we're going to break down how you can build an AI product that doesn't just work, but actually survives. Let's just jump right into it with a really tough question. You've built an amazing AI app, and yeah, it feels like magic. But I want you to really think about this. In a world where foundation models make building so easy, what is stopping a competitor, or heck, even the API provider itself, from just launching your exact feature and wiping your product off the map overnight? And that right there, that gets to the heart of the paradox in AI engineering right now. It's a total double-edged sword. The low barrier to entry that makes this whole field so exciting is also what makes it so dangerous. What's a gift to you is a gift to literally everyone else, and that includes all your competition. This slide just lays out the danger zone perfectly. On the left, you've got features, a PDF parser, an email summarizer. I mean, don't get me wrong, these are brilliant uses of AI, but they're also just one software update away from being baked directly into Google Docs or Outlook. Then you look at the right side. You have products. Photo Room isn't just background removal, it's a whole e-commerce photo studio. The key to survival is bridging that gap. You have to solve the entire workflow, not just one little step. So, how do you build that bridge and actually defend your product? In business, we call this a moat, your defensible advantage. Traditionally, you had three options: have superior technology, massive distribution, or unique data. But in the age of foundation models, the game has completely changed. The core tech is basically a commodity now, and the big players already own distribution. That leaves one critical path forward, and that is your user data. Your most powerful, most defensible moat is your data. And I don't just mean any data. I'm talking about the unique, messy, real-world data of how people are actually using your product. This creates this incredibly powerful flywheel. You launch, you get users, you see how they succeed and where they fail. You use that insight to make the product better, which then attracts more users who generate more data. It's this virtuous cycle that a competitor starting from scratch just can't replicate. All right, so you've got your idea, you've got your data strategy, you are ready to build. But this is where so many teams just hit a brick wall. It's the reality check we call the last mile challenge, that grueling, totally underestimated journey from a cool demo to a real production-ready product. Man, this quote just nails it, doesn't it? That initial wow moment with a foundation model is so misleading. That amazing demo you hacked together in a weekend, the one that feels like it's 90% of the way there, yeah, that's just the 0 to 60 part. The real soul-crushing work is just beginning. And look, this isn't just theory. This is a real-world case study from LinkedIn. Check out these numbers. Their team got to 80% of their target in 1 month. But to get from 80% to 95%, that took 4 more months. Why? Because that final stretch is where you have to fight the long tail of edge cases, all the weird user inputs and the subtle model hallucinations. That last 20% of polish will eat up 80% of your time and energy. Seriously. So how do you navigate that brutal last mile without getting lost or burning out? You need a map of the territory. You need to understand the modern AI stack. This is the blueprint that shows us where we, as developers, can actually make the biggest impact. Every single AI application is built on these 3 layers. At the bottom, you've got infrastructure, all the raw compute. In the middle is model development, that's training new models from scratch. And at the very top, you have application development, building on top of existing models. Now here is the golden rule. Start at the top, always. Only move down the stack when you hit a hard ceiling, because every layer you go down increases your cost and complexity by an order of magnitude. And this chart from GitHub shows you exactly where the party is at. Since the launch of ChatGPT, just look at the explosion in AI projects. It's wild. A staggering 85% of that growth, if you combine the purple and blue slices, is happening in the application layer. The message is crystal clear. The biggest opportunities right now are not in building the next foundation model, but in building really useful applications on top of them. This massive shift to the application layer fundamentally changes the rules of the game. It means that building with AI today is a different discipline than traditional machine learning engineering. So let's break down exactly what's new. This table really breaks down the shift. In traditional ML, the biggest headache was always getting enough clean, labeled data just to train a model from scratch. Now, in AI engineering, we're adapting these massive pre-trained models. The new challenge isn't a scarcity of data, it's evaluating the model's often unpredictable, open-ended outputs. This requires a whole new skill set that's focused on model adaptation and evaluation. Model adaptation is really the core technical skill for the modern AI engineer. It's all about taking a general-purpose tool, like GPT-4, and making it a specialist for your unique problem. But, how do you actually do that? You've got two main tools in your belt: prompt engineering and fine-tuning. Here's a simple way I like to think about it. Prompt engineering is like giving an expert chef a new, very detailed recipe. You're not changing the chef, you're just changing their instructions. Fine-tuning, on the other hand, is like sending that chef back to culinary school for a specialized course. You are fundamentally changing their internal knowledge by updating the model's weights. And this timeline just shows you the insane leverage you get with fine-tuning. A company like OpenAI spends billions on pre-training. That's the 98% of the work you see on the left. They might do some post-training for safety. And then you, the developer, you come in at the very end. You're not redoing the 98%. You're just adding that last crucial 2% of specialized knowledge on your own data. It's incredible. Okay, we have covered a ton of ground, from high-level strategy about moats all the way down to the nitty-gritty of fine-tuning. So let's make this real. Here is an actionable checklist, 4 questions to ask yourself before you even think about starting your next AI project. Before you write a single line of code, stop. Ask these 4 questions. 1. What is my data moat? How am I going to get that unique user data flywheel spinning? 2. How will I measure success? What metrics matter beyond just a cool demo? 3. Have I budgeted for the last mile? Am I prepared for that final 20% to take 80% of the effort? And 4, what's the right tool for the job? Can I get there with clever prompting, or do I need to invest in a full fine-tune? Answering these up front will save you months of pain and put you on the path to building a real product. Look, the specific models we use, the APIs, the hot new frameworks, they're going to change constantly. But the principles of building a defensible, production-quality product, those are timeless. So focus on asking these right strategic questions, and you'll be ready to build something that lasts no matter what comes next.